Episode number 102. At this instant the trivial entered, cool, polite, and in irreproachable costume. Informed of what had passed by the presence of the cardinal, and the alteration in the king's countenance, the trivial felt himself something like Samson before the Philistines. Louis Roman, 13, had already placed his hand on the knob of the door. At the noise of the trivial's entrance he turned round. "You arrive in good time, monsieur," said the king, who, when his passions were raised to a certain point, could not dissemble. "I have learned some fine things concerning your musketeers." "And I," said Treville, coldly, "I have some pretty things to tell your majesty concerning these gownsmen." "What?" said the king, without a "I have the honor to inform your majesty," continued the Treville, in the same tone, "that a party of procurers, commissaries, and men of the police, very estimable people, but very inveterate, as it appears, against the uniform, have taken upon themselves to arrest in house, to lead away through the open street, and throw into Fort l'Evêque, all upon an order which they have refused to show me, one of my, or rather your musketeers, sir, of irreproachable conduct, of an almost illustrious reputation, and whom your majesty knows favorably, Monsieur Athos." "Athos?" said the king, mechanically. "Yes, certainly I know that name." "Let your majesty remember," said Treville, "that Monsieur Athos is the musketeer who, in the annoying duel which you are acquainted with, had the misfortune to wound Monsieur de Cahusac so seriously. A propos, Monseigneur," continued Treville, addressing the cardinal, "Monsieur de Cahusac is quite recovered, is he not?" "Thank you," said the cardinal, biting his lips with anger. "Athos, then, went to pay a visit to one of his friends absent at the time," continued Treville, "to a young Bernays, a cadet in his majesty's guards, the company of Monsieur Dissessat, but scarcely had he arrived at his friend's, and taken up a book, while waiting his return, when a mixed crowd of bailiffs and soldiers came, and laid siege to the house, broke open several doors. The cardinal made the king a sign, which signified, that was on account of the affair about which I spoke to you." "We all know that," interrupted the king, "for all that was done for our service." "Then," said Treville, "it was also for your majesty's service that one of my musketeers, who was innocent, has been seized, that he has been placed between two guards like a malefactor, and that this gallant man, who has 10 times shed his blood in your majesty's service, and is ready to shed it again, has been paraded through the midst of an insolent populace." "Bah!" said the king, who began to be shaken. "Was it so managed?" "Monsieur de Treville," said the cardinal, with the greatest phlegm, "does not tell your majesty that this innocent musketeer, this gallant man, had only an hour before attacked, sword in hand, 4 commissaries of inquiry, who were delegated by myself to examine into an affair of the highest importance,